everybody. My name is Godfrey. Today we're going to be doing statistics, which is a topic in mathematics. Our focus point will be on the representation of data. Come along and enjoy this journey with me. We're going to look at an overview of what the topic is all about. First of all, it's graphs, variance and standard deviation, measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, box and whisker diagram. Our focus of the revision will be on graphs and mainly histogram, frequency polygon, cumulative frequency OGAF. First of all, guys, what is interesting is that we are going to be focusing on the representation of a table, completion of the table, as well as writing it in the form of a histogram. Let's have a look at this. When you look at question 1, it says, given the following frequency table, draw a histogram. Then the marks have been given, which is out of 50. The frequency is also given, and I want you to pay attention to the range. It starts from 10 up to 20, but look at this. X lies actually between 10 and 19 because this is less than. This is less or equal to. And the frequency, which means the amount of time data is reflected or shown, is 25. Then from 20 up to 30, in actual fact, up to 29. That gives us 74 times. From 30 up to 40, this means actually 39. And then that gives us a frequency of 66. From 40 up to 50, but this actually means 49. And then that gives us 35 times. So what is the next step? It is to be able to represent this data on a histogram. Let's do this. First of all, the first histogram part, very important, is that you must be able to label the graph correctly. On the left-hand side here, on this left-hand side here, this part, your vertical x-axis, we can see that from 0 up to 20 is our scale. From 20 up to 40, so in other words, our scale is 20. This is F, which is our frequency. Then the next one is to look at our horizontal line, which is this line here, and this horizontal line has also the difference of which is the scale. It moves up in tens, and we label this as marks. So our first bar that we must draw is this one here, and there we are drawing our first bar, right? We can proceed using the information that we've calculated from the previous section, is that we can draw the next bar, and this bar goes up to 74, which is approximately there. The next bar, there we have it, it's up to 66, which is representing the information as it was in the table, and our last bar that we have is about 34, and it's approximately there. I hope you are able to indulge into the drawing of this histogram, and our next topic, or our next section, will be related on how to draw the frequency polygon onto the histogram. So to be able to do that, we will look at a question which says 1.2, complete the frequency table. It's the same one, but now pay attention that we start from 0 up to 10, which there we had 0. We end at 50 up to 60, which is also 0. The rest of the information is still the same. Right. Now, what is the next step? Is to calculate the midpoint. How do we calculate the midpoint? First of all, let's look at the first part. We say x lies between 0 and but 9 because of the less than 0 and 9. Now you can simply go and say 0 plus 9, that gives you 9, and then you divide it by 2, which gives you 4,5. And then the same one from 10 up to, yes, you have it, 19. Then we can say 10 plus 19, that gives you 29, and then the 29 divided by 2 gives us 14,5. And the next step is from 20 up to, you agree with me, 29. Then what is 20 plus 29? That gives us 49. Are we together? That gives us 49. So, when you look at this, you take the 49 and then we divide it by 2. And that will give us 24.
3, 2, 1.
So from here we say 20 up to 30, but which is actually 29. 20 plus 29 gives you 49. That gives you 49. And the 49, we then divide 49 by 2. When you divide it by 2, what do you get? You get 24,5. And the next step is from 30 up to 40, but which is actually up to 39. So then we say 30 plus 39 gives you 69 divided by 2 gives you 34,5. I hope you are getting the gist of that. Are you still with me? From 40 up to 50, which is actually 49, right? What do we say? 40 plus the 49 will give you 89. Divide that by 2, then it will give you 44,5. Then we say from 50 up to 60, which is actually what? 59. Are you with me? Then 50 plus 59 will give me 109. We divide that by 2, and therefore it will give you 54,5. This is wonderful stuff, guys. And I'm excited to now take the information that I have and represent it on the histogram with the frequency polygon. So we have already done the histogram, and now we can focus on the question 1.3, which says draw the frequency polygon on top of the histogram. So first of all, let's do that. The first part, we know that here it was 4,5. So you start there and you move to 14,5. And then the next one is to move to 24,5. And we have the next one will be 34,5. And then the next one will be 44,5. Last but not least will be 54,5. So I hope that then you'll be able to draw this histogram and be able to do great. We are about to take a break. Don't you move. Sit right there and have a wonderful session to come back and refresh, and we're going to enjoy. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. We are now going to move into the next segment of our topic. This segment is related to a frequency polygon. Very interesting. Let's have a look at this. Now, when you look at the question 2.1 says, complete the table showing the speed of cars passing a point on the N1 freeway. Here is a table again, similar to the previous question. 1 says, there is a speed in kilometers per hour. The frequency is given. Now we must fill in the table with the midpoint. Remember what I said. We looked at when you start from 50 up to 60, but very important, look at the inequality sign which says less than, which means it's up to 59. So 50 plus 59, and then we divide by 2, it will give you 54,5. Then we say 60 plus 70, but not plus 70. Remember, what do we say? Because of the inequality sign, we say 69. So it's going to be 69 plus 60, divide everything by 2, that gives you 64,5. Then 70 plus 79, right, will divide this by 2, it gives you 74,5. Then we say 80 plus 89, right, divide by 2, that will give us 84,5. Then we say 90 plus 99, yes, lovely. We divide it by 2, that will give us 94,5. The next one, we have 100 plus, yes, 109. Then we divide by 2, that will give us 104,5. Then 110 plus, you have it now, 119, divided by 2, that will give you 114,5. Then 120 plus how much? 129. You are lovely. You're getting this. Then you divide everything by 2. That will give you 124,5. Then we say 130 plus 139, divide by 2. That will give you 134,5. Then 140 plus 149. Then we divide everything by 2. That will give us 144,5. Wonderful stuff, guys. You are now able to go forth and draw your frequency polygon. In the frequency polygon, first of all, we'll start with the first segment. We said the first part is your 54,5. And then here we are at 64,5. The next part, line that we draw, will be at 74,5. Right? And very important, look at that. As we proceed, we are at 84,5. We plot again 94,5. And we plot 104,5. Let us proceed and plot 114,5. We proceed 124,5. And then 134,5. Last but not least will be 144,5. Guys, we're going to the end of our last section that we have done right now. We are going for ad break. Please relax, unwind, and when we come back, we'll be looking at another question. Welcome back again, guys. I'm excited about the next section that we're about to do. I hope you are also excited. Let us indulge into it. Now, when you look at the question that has been given to us, they say complete the table showing the speed of cars passing a point on the N1 freeway. Now, here is the table that has been given to us. First of all, when you look at the table, what do you notice? You notice that, yes, we have been given the same table as in the previous question, but the starting point is now from 50 up to 60, which is 0, and the ending point is from 140 up to 150, which is also 0. And then the frequency table is given. Now we must complete the table by calculating the cumulative frequency. What is the cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency is when we add up all the frequencies as we move along. Let us do the addition now. When we start with the first part, we know the first frequency is 0, so cumulative frequency will be 0. So 0 plus the next one, 12, so we must add, will give you 12. To calculate the next cumulative frequency, it will be 12 plus 18. How much does it give you? Yes, it gives you 30. And then we say the next step, 30 plus 32. How much does it give you? 62. Absolutely. Then 62 plus 47, that gives you 109. 109 plus 52, how much do you get? You're getting the gist of this, 161. Then we go on and say 161 plus the 68, that will give you 229. 229 plus 45, absolutely 274. Then 274 plus the 16 will give you, wow, you're good, 290. Now pay attention, there's 290 plus the 0 is still giving you 290. Wonderful stuff. Now we'll be able to use the information to be able to draw a cumulative frequency graph. The cumulative frequency question says, question 3.2, use the data in the table to draw a cumulative frequency graph. How do we draw this? Let us pay attention to our graph. First of all, we can see that this is the cumulative frequency. This is the frequency side of the vertical axis. We pay attention to the scale, very important, starting from 0 up to 50. Because we look at our data and that directs us on how our scale should be, we move from 50 up to 100, which means our scale is a scale of 50. The same when we look at our range that has been given, the ranges of the data, we saw that it was 50 to 60. We saw that it was 60 to 70. And then it was 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, 110 to 100 to 110, etc. And we have labeled our horizontal axis as speed. Now, very important as well is now we start by plotting. When we plot the first part, we remember that from 50 up to 60, we plotted the point 0. That is 50 to 60, from 60 up to 70, we had the point, yes, 12. Wonderful stuff. And then from 70 to 80, what do we have? Aha, you're getting this. It is 30. Then we proceed from 80 up to 90. How much was that when we calculated it? Yes, 62. And pay attention, 62 is around there, right? That is why we are plotting. And as we proceed as well from 90 to 100, we can see that it's around 109. So you can see there 109 is around there, right? Then we can proceed from 100 to 110. What do you realize? It is 161. Yeah, absolutely. So 161 is approximately there. That's 161. And then we can go and look at the next point. It is 229. Yes, absolutely. 229 is around there. Then we plot from 120 up to 130. We saw that there it is 274. So when you look at this, it's there around 274. As we proceed from 130 to 140, wonderful, which is the last but not the least, that is 290. 290, and 290 is just as close to 300 on our vertical axis. Wonderful stuff. Boys and girls, this is great. Now, what do you think is the next step that we must do? Yes, we must join the points. Let us join these points. In order to be able to join these points, we are going to focus on the following. The points that have been given to us, we're just going to draw the line from here. As you can see, we have the points, and you can see there is the line as it has been drawn, and this makes it very, very easy to draw. Wonderful stuff. Guys, this is great. Now you have realized that it is wonderful to be able to draw your histogram, frequency, polygon on the histogram. We have also drawn the cumulative frequency ogive. Now what do we do next? Absolutely right. We must look at the mean, median, and we look at the mean, and we look at Q1 as well as Q3. That is going to be interesting. Let's go. So the next question here, as I've said, use the cumulative frequency ogive to find the, let's start, 3.3.1 median. To be able to find the median, how do we do that? We know that 200, we calculated 290 as our total cumulative frequency, right? Then, what is the median? What is the meaning of median? Median means half of the data, which means we must divide by 2, and that will give us 145. So where is 145 on the graph? Yes, here is 145 cumulative frequency, and we jot, and then on the graph it will take us to approximately 106. Right, so our median, having used our cumulative frequency, is approximately 106 kilometers per hour. Can we do our Q1? Now that we have found the median, we can go and find Q1, which is our first quartile. To be able to find Q1, we are going to calculate again. Remember what I said about the median, that it is half of the data, right? But with the Q1, it is a quarter of the data. So we're going to say 290 multiplied by a quarter of the data. What is a quarter of the data? That is equal to 72,5. Now we need to go and find on the graph, where is 72,5? It is approximately here. That is why when you do your dotted lines or your dashed lines, it will be around your Q1 will be around 93, around 93. right? There we have it. Awesome stuff. Now let's have a look at the next one, which is Q3, which is a third quartile. To find a third quartile, what do you notice? Remember, we said that it's how much? It should actually be 3/4 because the first quartile is a quarter. The second quartile, or which is the median, is actually half. Now this is 3/4, which will be 217,5. Now on the diagram, where is 217,5? It is approximately there. So as you draw your dashed lines up to where the graph is and go down, you will realize that it is there around your 118. So it's 118 as you can see it there, and therefore Q3 is approximately 118 kilometers per hour. Now we must be able to find the interquartile range. How do we calculate the interquartile range? We say Q3 minus Q1. Remember, we found Q3 to be 118 kilometers per hour, so there is 118. We found Q1 to be 93 kilometers per hour, and therefore we subtract 93. 118 subtract 93 will give you 25 kilometers per hour. So the next question, which is wonderful, guys, great stuff. You are able now to do this. You are able to use the data that has been given and represent it in data form, in graphical form so far. Now where do we move? We take our cumulative frequency to do the 5-number summary. So this becomes easy. Just by graphs, you can do the 5-number summary. Let's have a look at this. Now the next question says, use the cumulative frequency OGIV to draw a box and whisker diagram. Here it is. Remember, this is what we have done. We have found Q1, Q2, and Q3. But do you realize that this Q1 here is actually the start of your box, right? And then Q2, which is our median, is actually inside the box. We draw a line inside the box. And then our Q3, we draw the closing side of the box. Are we together? So we have found 1, 2, 3. But remember, what was your lowest value? There, your lowest value there was between 50 and 60. That was your lowest value. Then we put our lowest value there. And then our highest value was here at 140. 130, 140. From 140 to 150 was also 0. Once you have this, you can start completing your box, as you can see how I've done that. Join the box together and then draw on this side. You can also complete the box, and on that side. So what do we finally have? We finally have our box and whisker diagram, which has completed the 5-number summary, which has now, as we see how it has built up to becoming the complete statistics that we have been focusing on. So the next section that we'll be looking at is now to be able to summarize everything, to summarize what we have done. Let's move. In our summary, what have we done? We have focused on graphs. We have focused on the histogram graph, the frequency polygon. Remember that what we did with the frequency polygon, we drew the frequency polygon onto the histogram. We also took this frequency polygon and drew it individually. We further went and drew the cumulative frequency OGIV as well, and that information was used to be able to do the 5-number summary and your box and whisker diagram. Then we also looked at measures of central tendency as part of the summary, which consisted of the median, which consisted of quartiles. Remember, we had Q1, which is quartile 1. We had Q2, which is quartile 2, and we call it the median. We had Q3, yes, and that we also used that to draw what? To draw our box and whisker diagram. Then we have measures of dispersion, which was your what? Interquartile range. And finally, we completed the whole where we said the box and whisker diagram. And very important, even the box and whisker diagram shows you the interquartile range, which we had calculated as Q3 minus Q1. We have reached the end of this lovely mathematics session. Wonderful mathematics session whereby we learned a lot on graphing and statistics. I hope you enjoyed this. My name is Godfrey and I'm out.